Good morning, friends. Now, straight away, new project on the bench. No bones about it. This is a Chibson. It's a copy of a Gibson, made in China. It's, look at it. You've not seen anything like that before, surely. Looks fantastic. So you're saying, why is it in then? Well, it is a Chibson. And the neck here is twisted. And it's twisted down this way, so it twists that way. It's a brand new guitar. So I would say the wood we've used in this neck has not been dried properly. There's some damp in there, and now it's been strung on, blah blah blah, whatever. And it's dried and it's twisted over. So I've been asked to, if I could straighten the neck. Yes, I can straighten the neck, but I can't guarantee it's going to stay straight. But I've been asked to straighten the neck, which I'm going to do. He also said if it needs a refret, give it one. Now frets are lifting, it seems, in some areas. Can't tell properly till I've got the strings off, but the fret wire looks crap. It's all tarnished, it looks really, really cheap. And that's the thing, guys. You know, you're paying £350 for these or whatever you pay. And it's got a vibrator on there, and it looks the part. It's got a vary tone switch on there. It's got binding, blah, 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 blah. Oh, what I think is binding. And it looks great. But the thing is, it's a Chibson. Can I get this playing right? Can I get the neck straight? I can get the neck straight. Can I get the neck to stay straight? I don't know. That's your problem. That is your lookout. You're doing this at your own risk. I'm going to straighten the neck, and I'm going to see what works, what the frets need, if they need anything. He says, not bothered how much it costs, as long as I get it done right. The thing is, I can't guarantee this neck is going to stay straight. I will get it straight. I'm going to put it on my jig over there in a bit, and you'll see more about it. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to plug it in, make sure everything works. Once I find that everything is working, we're going to remove the strings, going to remove the nut, and we're going to have a look at the state of the neck, and I'm going to see. I'm going to get it up on the jig there, and we're going to try and get the neck straight. The problem I've got with this is, will it stay straight? I can't guarantee that, can I? Every one I've ever done, I said, I can't guarantee it's going to stay straight. I can get it straight, but I can't guarantee it's going to stay straight. Now, fortunately, everyone I've straightened so far over the years, including the Warwick basses, they've all stayed straight. Some of those Warwick basses, and one of those guitars I did in 1973, was it 73 Gibson Custom? I did for a guy. I straightened his neck. No one else would touch it in Britain. Even the Gibson specialist wouldn't touch it. I got that straight. I charged him £700 to have everything done to it, and I got it straight. It's still straight to this day. The Warwicks I've always done, have always stayed straight to this day. The first one I did, first Warwick I did, I believe, was in, is it 2016, 2017? So it's 6-7 years ago. Still as straight as a die, that neck. So, you know, but like I say, I can't guarantee it will stay straight, but I'm going to do the work. Looking at these frets, I don't like the look of these frets. The metal looks horrible. It's all tarnished, they're lifted in places, but we'll see when we get down to it. So let me get it stripped, and I'll come back and give you an update shortly. So I had a tinkle and a play. Sounds alright. I don't know what the varitone switch does. If anything, this gubbins here does that sound any different to anyone? So, you know, plays okay, but not sure what varitone does a thing. Doesn't do anything, does it? So that's there for show. Everything else works. Bridge pickup, both pickups, which is where I had it. Neck pickup. Wired the wrong way around. Normally you have your neck there and you bridge there. This is the opposite way around, bridge there, neck there. Let's have a quick go. So yeah, so what can I tell you? The Veritone doesn't seem to do anything at all. That's plugged into my Spark 40, by the way. Nothing set up, just turned on. That sounds pretty good. So, Veritone does nothing. What can I tell you? We're going to whiz the strings off and have a look at the frets. Let me just drop us down a little. There you go, guys. I'm going to whiz these strings off. A big blob of glue behind the nut there as well. So the Veritone, I'm not dismantling everything to get inside this F-hole to find out if that's wired into anything. Maybe it's there for show, I don't know. It wouldn't have been difficult to wire it up, would it? It should basically be a pot with 5 different capacitors on it, but I doubt it is. But the thing is, what's the point of putting it on for show? So a few things about the guitar that are shoddy. It's a Chibson. I don't know what that is on there. Got no idea. Should that even be there? The shape of this truss rod cover is not right. It's not even finished properly. It's very tatty at the edges. It's not even been smoothed off. The nut was to be plastic. No idea what the strings are. Nothing spectacular. Just got a brass end on there, so they're not Dioderios or anything. We're just going to bin them straight away. So I'm going to give the guitar the once over and just check everything. That's not a piece of ebony, by the way, it's stained wood, whatever it is. I'm not going to go into why people buy these. I wouldn't. That string in there is just pinched in there, look, it's stuck in there. There's much better guitars than this around for 350 quid. I understand you want it to look the part, but at what cost? They're just some ugly guitar strings there, look. We'll bin these. So they're not getting the knot off. Massive, massive blob of glue behind it here. Plastic, piece of crap plastic nut. I'm going to lift it up to the camera and just show. Now I'm going to open the blind, by the way. I know you can't see the full extent of the guitar when the blinds. I like to let some daylight in. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have some great daylight strip lighting in this place. Let's remove this. That is static, that's good. We'll wang those in there, get them in all the way. Frets are not clever at all. But let's show you the knot while we're here. Massive blebber glue this side here. Looks like a plastic knot, really horrible. We'll be swapping that out. Still got the plastic on the truss rod cover, so that's probably why it looks so tatty. But the frets, look how tarnished they are already. So really not great quality frets there. Let's just have a quick look at the neck. Should be 24 3/4, which it is. With the strings off, that neck is just about straight. Now that's a good thing, it's got some backbone in it. Now the problem with this is it's not going to have the proper truss rod adjuster, is it? See if I can grab. There you go. It's probably going to have an Allen key wrench one. It shouldn't have an Allen key wrench one. It should have a nut. Proper Gibson one has a nut. Now the only reason this is on the bench now is because it needs to go on the neck jig. I'm actually working on another 335, an Harley Benson. And there you go, it's just a regular Allen wrench on there, 5mm, I'll be able by the looks of it. I don't even know where my truss rod ones are, so I'll have to find them in a little while. I'll quickly zip over the frets if I can. I haven't got a little bit of background here, but let's just check the frets. I can already see gaps under the frets at the edges. These aren't going to be level. Now we know the neck's not straight. The problem with getting this neck straight is we've got to get straight. We can't look at that. We can't remove the neck from this guitar. So this definitely needs a fret level. I will probably go with a refret. Do I want to refret something like this? It's up to the client. If I level these frets, oh I mean come on, these are terrible. Absolutely shocking. So now you can have my opinion on these Chibsons. Garbage. Those frets are all over the place. Definitely needs a fret level. Looking at the fret wire, might need a refret. Refret something like this, you're looking at 275 quid, 300 quid. With the neck being straightened, 400 quid. You're looking 400 quid here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten the neck and see if I can get it to stay straight. And we'll take it from there. Now I'm just going to go try and get this knot off. I don't think it's going to come off clean. Let me just get a blade. X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut through this glue this side. This is a job in itself, getting the knot off. Now we may get it straight off. Cut through lots of glue this side. I don't want to whack this. Let's take a big chunk of wood out with it because that has happened in the past. I'm going to hold that there and I'm just going to tap this way. There you go, you see we've got that nice and clean because I hold that behind it. So we've got the nut out clean. It's left a bit of residue in there. Piece of horrible plastic. That's the difference between 3,500 quid and 3,500 quid. So I've got to chip that bit out here, which I can do, not a problem. The wood, I'll tell you now, that looks to be like MDF. That's really worrying. That might not be a wood neck. That might be MDF. That's MDF, this guitar doesn't have a chance. Can you see it where you are? That doesn't look like real wood to me. That is very worrying. Is that a piece of MDF? If that is, this is an absolute pile of junk. Stop buying these guys. Stop buying them. I don't know what to do with this right now. Okay, so my findings. I'm recommending that this guitar has a refret. Have a look, let me remember. I can get my thumbnail under these frets. Absolute junk. Also, I've told the guy I can't guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing the work. I can't guarantee the work. I'll just remove the nut. It's not MDF, but that looks like MDF to me. That nut shelf looks like a piece of MDF. It's probably really cheap. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it's maple. I've got no idea. I'm going to send a picture off to a friend of mine, a couple of good friends, and ask them what they think. The nut didn't come out clean, but that's okay. The shelf itself will be cleaned, it'll clean up nice. But I've told the guy I cannot guarantee that this neck will stay straight, so I'm not prepared to give you any kind of guarantee at all. I say I will do the work, for which I'll charge you 400 quid. It's 275 for a refret, including the fret wire, including a new bone nut cut from a blank. I'm going to charge 125 quid to straighten the neck, so I'm going to charge 400 quid for the lot. That's all inclusive, that's including all the parts and what have you. But I can't guarantee it, I will not guarantee it, I'm not putting my name to it because I don't know if this will stay straight. The fingerboard wood, I don't know what it is. It's something stained to look like ebony. It's, again, I don't know what it is. What would I do with this myself? Well, I would have bought it. But it's a simple story. I would not have bought anything like this. I'm afraid you get what you pay for with these. And it's hit and miss. Some might be alright. Certainly if this was alright, if the neck wasn't twisted and the fret wire was better, it'd have been worth the money. But come on guys, you've got to wake up to this. You're not getting a Chibson style guitar for 350 to 400 quid. It's not going to happen. You know, you've got to pay that 3,500 to 4,000 quid. So anyway, that's what I've told the guy. I've said, you know, I can't put my name to it. I could even level these frets, but the crap, I can get my thumbnail under them. I've been across with fret rocky, you've heard how many frets are rocking. You know, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this video together as it is and just send it to the client and he can decide from there. Bear with me a second. I just said I'm going to put this video together, send it to the client as it is and tell him, look, I can't guarantee that this is going to stay straight because it's cheap wood. I'm also going to recommend a refret. There's no point working these frets. I can get my thumbnail under them in certain places. Absolute garbage. To anyone else out there, don't buy these. Don't buy these. I'll be flabbergasted if I get this refretted, the neck straight and refretted, and it stays like it. And it does happen. I've straightened, I don't know how many necks I've straightened over the years. Every one I've done so far stayed straight. The first one I did major was the Warwick bass, which was severely twisted, bent and warped. It was bent every way possible. I spent 45, 50 hours on that guitar. And I got it perfectly straight without taking the frets out. Got it perfectly straight, got the frets levelled, gave it back to the owner. It is still going strong 7 years later. It's still perfectly straight neck. So, you know, like I say, but end of the day, Warwick's a Warwick. This is a cheap Chinese thing made out of woods unknown. I don't know what wood this neck is made of. That does look like MDF. If that's MDF, there's no way that neck is ever going to be straight. In fact, you can't make a neck out of MDF. So I would imagine it's some cheap maple derivative. I don't know. I'm not a woodworker. I'm not a luthier. I'm a guitar tech. But I'm going to recommend, forget the neck straight, which I will do. I recommend these frets come out because they are, I've got my thumbnail under that bit there, look. They're really, really bad. If you want to do in sheet, oh, I've got my thumbnail under there as well. I'm recommending straighten the neck, refret the guitar, new bone nut, proper setup, good set of strings. That's including all my labour, all the parts. I'm going to charge extra for parts, and that's the best I can do. So that's where we are with that.